And again, thank you everyone for joining me today. I've got my good friend here, Ashley Elizabeth LeBlanc, on another... You just totally screwed up this intro, but that's okay.
Because I waved?
Yeah, because she waved.
I had to.
I've known Ashley for about, what is it now, 6 or 7 years. And yeah, it never gets boring with us when we're together talking. But yes, she is back here. We did a podcast last year about the B.E.S.T, which is B.E.S.T. Ashley, what is it?
Bio-Energetic Synchronization Technique.
Now, I just had one. I just had another technique from another... what do you call
treatment?
It? Another treatment. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
this is going well
tell?
already.
Yep.
See, this is just what happens when I hang out with Ashley. Anyways, we're having fun. We always do. I just had a treatment, like she just politely corrected me, which is fine. So there is a difference. I do feel a difference right now. Mm-hmm. And because earlier, like I wasn't feeling all that great on my back, and I was feeling some other issues. And we were talking about some of the issues and what that may mean. It's incredible. Like like now, before I continue with what happened with my treatment, a B.E.S.T is not chiropractic. It's not like you go see a massage therapist. It is hands-on, but there's a series of questions that are being asked. And so maybe just briefly tell people what B.E.S.T is really about and how it can help, because it is helping me right now. Like I feel really good. So,
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So B.E.S.T is Bio-Energetic Synchronization Technique, which is a gentle healing system used to address stress and promote balance in the body. So what we're doing is, like you said, it's a hands-on treatment. And what we're doing is we're talking to the body and thereby talking to the subconscious, right? So we're bypassing your consciousness and we're talking to where the problem is. Why are you not sleeping? Why are you feeling anxious? Why are you not hungry? Why are relationships not working for you? Whatever the case may be. Why does your back hurt? Right? So what we're doing by doing that, because the thing is, if you could consciously figure it out, you wouldn't have a sore back.
No.
Right? You'd be like, back, fix yourself. Oh, there we go. Okay, my back is good. So what we're doing is we're working with the problem, not the symptom. So for example, if you were to go to a massage therapist, like you mentioned, and you'd say, well, my back hurts, and they'd go and they'd rub the muscles and they go here and they'd rub that one over there and that one over there and do that. And that's absolutely beneficial. Except how often do you walk out and you're like, oh yeah, there goes the muscle spasm that I came in to help already. And it didn't really change anything, right? So with B.E.S.T, we're actually working with the problem in the subconscious that's causing that muscle to contract and spasm. And then we're actually updating the program that's telling it to do that, basically stopping it from doing that. Okay,
so in other words, it's like it could be a trigger of some sort.
Absolutely.
Like it could be like a situation that may have happened 10 or 20 years ago that's kind of sort of been ingrained in the subconscious and comes out again. And I guess it could be some sort of an event, or
it could be anything. It could be something that someone said to you in passing. It could be something a sibling said to you. It could be something you were driving and something happened. It could be a really big life event, like if you had a child being born, right? If it was your first child, or you're getting married, or if somebody in your family passes away. Those are pretty big events, right? So if, let's say, a date had come up, it doesn't happen often, but if a date comes up and the client goes, oh, that's when me and my brother went camping that one time. Okay, well, something obviously happened there that your body's still responding to and reacting to. But then you went camping 10 years ago with your brother, so why are you responding to it now? Right? So that's a trigger for you. And then what B.E.S.T does that makes it different from everything else is that it finds the emotional trigger, which is the key. Right? So we're finding the stress response, then we're finding the emotional trigger, then we're updating it. So that your back doesn't hurt anymore.
Right. And, without really telling everyone my personal life, because let's face it, like I'm not perfect. Ashley's not perfect. None of us are perfect. We do have our own battles It's probably the best way to say
Called
put
life.
it. It is called life. And but and stress does come up, which there's such thing as good stress and there's bad stress, and it's the bad stress is what we're trying to get after, and what Ashley was doing with me this afternoon, and my back feels a lot better.
Awesome.
And what was interesting, and because now that the technique has changed now, because before, like I've done a few B.E.S.T treatments with you in the past, in the last maybe 2 or 3 years now, I think.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been about that. Yeah.
I think actually I've been doing I've been studying B.E.S.T for 6 years. I've been a practitioner for 5. I think you were one of my first clients.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And
since the beginning.
But what's interesting is that she doesn't just like the whole B.E.S.T treatment isn't just about stress. It can be helpful for, like, if you have, well, you know what, it is, I guess it would be mostly about stress, wouldn't it be? Because I guess we do have stresses when it comes to maybe lack of money or like something that's happened in the past, but you're actually extracting things to pull out in the forefront and then fix the problem.
Yeah.
And, but like you said, the technique, is hands-on and it works.
Yes.
It's actually quite good. Like, and I've had lots with you. But today it's different.
Yep.
Because before it was kind of me on my back and you having me hold my hand up and asking a question and put it down. But what I like about the treatment now is that you are sort of in a different position, like you're face down.
Yep, that's how we start. So in January, I did training. So this is still a new technique, and they've updated it because they're always looking for the most effective way to do more with less energy, essentially. So, the deeper I can treat you, the more effective I can be, the happier you can be, the sooner you can achieve your dreams, ultimately, right? So what they've done is they've actually added a physical component to it and then put the emotional on top. And what it does is it creates this great foundation.
Okay.
And makes everything very, very effective.
Yeah, but then you ask questions because if I can remember correctly, I mean, even though we just had like 5 minutes ago, and I kind of forget a little bit, but there's that idea that like it's all in our body. And there's that ailment that's bugging us. And you said that there is a chief complaint as to why I wanted the treatment.
Yes.
And just talk me through that really quickly. When you ask that question, what is a chief complaint?
Yeah. So in the technique, one of the questions that I ask your body is it situation, person, or body?
Okay.
And for you, the top priority that your subconscious was dealing with was something in your body.
Right.
So what happened was you had triggered an emotion that triggered a stress response that's causing physical pain, right?
Okay.
And it could be anything in your body. It could be that you have an ingrown toenail. It could be that your finger hurts. It could be that your eyeball sucks or something. I don't know, right? Yeah. However, for you, you thought of it, and then I tested your legs, and your legs locked up.
Right. And I do remember that? Because what she does is that she grabs your heels and I guess you're pushing them back and forth to each other.
So that's when I'm talking to your body. So when I go to turn them and they don't turn, I'm looking up all the way up your leg to your hip and your leg doesn't turn. That tells me that your body's now in a stress response.
Right.
That's what we're looking for. That says, yep, we're on the right track. Great. So then you thought of your chief complaint. Okay, great. That's the one. Then we find the emotion that's linked to that stress response that's now inappropriate.
Right.
And then there's an eye position such and such. Then I hold contacts, updating your system. So before I hold contacts, your body's laying on the table and it's like, well, I have to tighten this and everything has to be tight because I got to run away from a bear really quick. I don't know what's going on. Da, 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 da. And then after I hold contacts, your body's like, oh, I'm laying on a massage table. This is pretty nice. And if I recall correctly, your stomach was quite growly after that. Which means
that is a true story.
Yeah, that your digestion has now come, we call it back online. So because you were in that fight or flight response, digestion gets shut down. So you can eat really, really well and hydrate and everything. But if you're not breaking it down and absorbing it, it's no good. right? So now if you were to eat a meal, your body would actually be able to break it down properly, take what it needs, eliminate the rest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was growling pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised we didn't have like well, maybe next time
Yeah.
I'll have like a microphone to my stomach. So
Yeah. No kidding, right?
it was growling pretty loud, believe me. But anyways, but then there's a word that you said, which came up, which I was actually flabbergasted by, because you said acceptance. And I thought, that's exactly what was going on in my mind. How often does that happen when you do a treatment with someone and they say, how did you know? Like,
I get that, and I get, why did you choose this? And I'm like, oh, I chose nothing. I talked to your body and you told me this is what you needed, right? So I find it interesting that the word was actually on your mind. So that tells me that there's a thread there, and maybe there's a bit more work to do around that.
Right. Interesting. I hope you're all interested. Right now I'm talking with Ashley Elizabeth LeBlanc, who lives here in Victoria, BC, who does B.E.S.T treatments. If you are looking to get a treatment from her, definitely reach out to her. Quickly, where are you at on your website?
omwellnessvictoria.com, omwellnessvictoria.com.
And she will go out and see you. Like,
yes.
I guess if you're up in Nanaimo, she would probably go up there. If you're up in maybe not so much like northern BC or Alaska, it might be a little bit too far, but
that might be a bit of a travel expense.
Right.
I actually frequent Bowen Island. I'm on Bowen Island monthly, and I have a space in Souk. I have a space in Victoria. I can come to you, especially if you have pets. I'll come to you. I'll treat you and your pet so that, everybody can be healthy and happy. And I also offer distance treatments over Skype or FaceTime.
Really, without hands-on
Yep.
without any hands-on.
Yep. It's energetically hands-on.
Right. Okay, so you have that, but then also I would go back to with the pets, because I think that's important. Because I mean, this is a dog town. People love dogs here in Victoria, and I'm sure you've done a few dogs, maybe cats. What's that process like?
So it's the same premise, right?
Yeah.
That we have stresses and we get triggered and things happen in our lives, right? And so with pets, the technique is different, still the same effect. So of course they can't think of an emotion and they can't control their eyes necessarily.
Right.
And it's just a different technique that Dr. Morter pioneered, because he said, why can't somebody get their dog treated? They're obviously having issues too, right? Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So often with dogs, because, animals in general, because they're so transparent, right? They can't lie, right? When you touch them, if it's sore, they let you know. So it's fun to treat pets because of that. And it can be a challenge sometimes because they don't sit still all the time.
Right.
So or with cats, you got to be quick.
Yeah. Or that you touch them in the wrong spot and they swat at you. That can't be too
Exactly.
fun.
So actually hasn't happened to me to an extreme, I think, ever. Right. And because most of the ones they get pretty mellow as the treatment goes on, probably much like you're feeling, right? So, again, just as effective, right? They love it too. I don't think I've ever had one run away from me. maybe to go grab me a toy because they're so thankful. They want to share their toys with me. They always come back.
So if you're so you can do pets. So you can do like dogs and cats. What about other animals like horses?
Horses, yep. I love horses. They're really fun. I've treated chickens, ducklings, dogs and cats, of course, horses. Right. Donkey, miniature donkey, chickens, ducks. Yeah, I've never treated a snake or a turtle. I'd have to do some research, but I'm open to it.
So you've been doing this for what, 6 years? You said, studying for about 6 years.
Yeah. So I became aware of B.E.S.T about 6 years ago, and then 5 years ago I actually did the training and got qualified, certified. Right. And I've continually done training and done my own work within the B.E.S.T system and continue to. I'm an animal practitioner. I'm an elite master practitioner. I know, seated B.E.S.T, which is a technique we can do if someone's in a wheelchair or you're on an airplane or you need a treatment and can't lay down. Right. There's also family B.E.S.T, which was typically used for children which I can use for anybody, including animals, right?
Right.
If a dog lays on its back, I can grab his little feet and do muscle testing, right?
Yeah.
So the good news is that there's techniques for everything.
Okay.
I haven't come across somebody I can't treat.
Right.
So it's pretty awesome. And I also have a diploma of exercise and wellness from Camosun.
Awesome.
So I have that background in anatomy primarily.
Yeah, and I guess that would help.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Again, with me is Ashley Elizabeth LeBlanc, and who's a best practitioner. If you haven't gotten one already, go talk to her. Again, where can we find you, Ashley?
OM Wellness Victoria, omwellnessvictoria.com.
And she'll find you.
Yep. It's all just a matter of time.
Right. But the thing is, like, and folks, because I know a lot of you haven't heard of B.E.S.T, it is a relatively new technique, which I like. It's great. It's worked out well for me. My life has changed over time, like because we've been doing this for almost 4 or 5 years now, and I can see the progression. Even today, like I feel great. Like I've been having these back issues with weird issues. I don't know why.
Yep.
It's the stretching was helping for a while, even chiropractic and massage, but this just feels a lot different. Like I like it. I feel really good.
So that's interesting that you mentioned that. I've been coming across that more and more in my clients, that they've been able to manage their symptoms through chiropractics, through massage, through stretching, through infrared sauna, swimming, exercising, which is great. And you're not working on the problem.
Right.
How many times did I touch you? I put my hands on you like 8 times.
Right.
Like my fingers, not even my hands, my fingers, right?
Yeah.
So, this system works. It's designed to find the problem, because if you know the combination to a lock, you can open the lock.
Right.
But if you don't, there's like, a gajillion combinations to try. It would take you forever to figure it out. But if you know the combination, boom, 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 done, right?
Yeah.
That's what B.E.S.T is.
Yeah. And exactly, because you're not with the chiropractic, they barely talk to you, or maybe the massage therapist, they talk to you a lot about your personal life, but they're not, like you said, getting into that root problem. And no, I highly suggest it for people who have never tried it before. And the other thing too is that it's totally painless, unless there's something that, if you're feeling some pain, maybe you want to tell Ashley about it before she goes ahead and does anything. But it like I said, it is hands-on, but it's like, I would say feather touch almost when you're putting your hands on my body. Yeah.
Because I don't like it when people pound on me, right? And there's no reason. Like, once I find the spots, there's no reason for me to push and make you go, ow!
Yeah, right.
Really.
Right.
So I pride myself on my touch, and that I don't have to be forceful, right? Because I don't appreciate that. And time and a place for everything. But, I'm trying to relax, and you're pushing my leg and making it hurt. Like, that doesn't feel good. I don't want to do that to you. So that's just my personal touch. Every practitioner is a little different. That's just what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many, okay, let's say if you have someone who comes in for the first time and they get up and they're feeling quite good, how often do you say, well, is there like a suggested time of them to return? Like,
I actually ask the body. So I ask the body how many treatments a week.
Right.
And then with the client, we determine a treatment plan. So it often depends why people are coming and the severity of their symptoms. So someone who, I've had clients who have never slept in their life. They're not sleepers, haven't slept since they were 2 years old. It's like, okay, do you want to sleep? Great.
Right.
Come and see me twice a week. We do that for a month. Now they're sleeping. They're feeling better, right? They're more energetic. They're focused, productive. Then we go back to once a week. And we do that for a while. And then once every other week. And then now they just come see me whenever they don't sleep. Right?
Right.
And they've never slept in their life.
Right.
And now they sleep every night. It's weird now if they wake up, not if they sleep. Right. So it again, like, if someone has a lot of trauma, right? They've been in car accidents and, stuff like that. That's more intense care.
Yeah.
And I always listen to the client, right? Because it's about them. It's nothing to do with me. And so I've had clients who have done really intense care and then said, can we step back? I'm just really busy this week and I want to integrate. I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
Because that takes time sometimes too, right? So it just depends on the severity. And, it's like, I have knee pain and I like playing soccer. Great. Come see me 3 times a week.
Right.
And then you won't have knee pain and you'll be able to play soccer. Fantastic. Right?
Awesome. Ashley, we're out of time.
Ah.
I hate to say it.
Ah.
I really hate to say it, but
Drat.
if you are looking to get a B.E.S.T treatment, definitely reach out to Ashley Elizabeth LeBlanc, and she'll definitely give you a treatment. Again, it's quick and painless. She'll keep it totally confidential, of course.
Absolutely.
And yeah, reach out to her. And again,
look forward to hearing from you.
where can we find you one last time, if you don't mind? And then, of course, because I think you're doing a few more videos every once in a while, so people need to know where they can find you on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, everything is Om Wellness Victoria. So my email is omwellnessvictoria@gmail.com. My Facebook is Ashley Elizabeth LeBlanc. Add me. I love having friends.
Yeah.
My website is omwellnessvictoria.com. I think that's about everything. YouTube is omwellnessvictoria.com.
Yeah,
There's some great videos on my resources page of my website if you're looking just for some information. So yeah, and I'm always open for a conversation. I love it. So
awesome.
Get in touch.
Awesome. Thanks again, Ashley, and we'll talk soon. And everyone, just remember, I hope you had a wonderful day and hope you enjoyed this podcast. And remember, ignite your inner power and watch your world change, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to
Antony Scandale.
Ignite your inner power and watch your world change.